Hello, Cosmic Fam, and welcome back to Moonlight News. This episode is going to be the start of a new series I'm calling Tarot and Transits. In this series, I pair current transits with the tarot cards so you can see how astrology and tarot are actually speaking the same language and what that means for you. Aries season is officially underway, and this energy is ablazing. My energetic joyride has been wild. During Pisces season, I was super tired. I was dazed and confused. And now, I'm full of so much energy, it feels like I'm wired all the time. And for me, that often shows up as anxiety. The fire is lit and the momentum is here. And we finally have the energy to step into something new. So if you're feeling nervous or a bit disheveled, a little out of sorts, maybe even a little chaotic, don't freak out. You didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes it just takes our body a little time to catch up to the shifts. We're all fine. Are you fine? I'm fine. Are you fine? We're fine. And like I've said in previous videos, all the boilers are lit with all the planets direct and the Aries stellium that we have happening right now. So it's going to feel pretty intense because there's quite the circus going on in Aries. But all this fire energy picking up isn't just for nothing. There is actually nothing random about this. The universe is giving you the gift of momentum, an opportunity for a new beginning, so you can build something that actually lasts. What we're looking at right now is a full cosmic dream team. I'll be introducing some of the players, so think of them as your energetic teammates. Aries is your energy stepping forward, starting the journey. Saturn is your discipline. It could be a mentor or an authority figure. It's basically the pressure that matures you. Pluto is the transformation happening underneath the surface, empowering you from the inside out. And I'll be introducing a new player, Juno. This is your allies, your contracts, and your people. Where Aries is in your chart is where you're starting on this new beginning, on this new hero's journey I've been talking about. And Aries isn't just asking, what do you want? Because you already know what that is. What Aries is really asking is, are you willing to go after it? Aries energy is bold, decisive, direct, and confident. In its higher vibrations, it corresponds with the Emperor card in the tarot. The Emperor is the leader of the pack. He brings order out of chaos. But there's a deeper layer. Aries energy doesn't wait around until you feel ready. This energy moves whether you're ready for it or not. And you become ready along the way. This energy is fearless, but also in the lower vibrations, it can be aggressive, defensive, inflexible, and the my way or the highway kind of vibe. So just be mindful of that. The Sun in Aries, which is the energy we're in this season, connects to the Three of Wands card. This is expansion and vision, forward movement. This is where you realize, I have a place in this world and I'm ready to step into it. Together, this energy is powerful. The Emperor and the Three of Wands is structured visions, leadership expansion, and owning your growth. Structured vision is when something that you've been thinking about, you actually start doing something about. You make a plan, you carve out time, and you follow through. Leadership expansion is when things start growing, and it might feel like a lot at first, but instead of pulling back, you step up. You make the call, you take the lead, and you trust yourself to handle what's opening up. And this is where many of us are, I think, right now. Ownership growth is where you stop waiting and you claim your path. It's when you realize that your growth isn't just happening to you. You're choosing it every step of the way. Because now you're not just seeing the vision, you're being called to lead it. Now that energy seems like it should be enough, right? Like what could be more powerful than the Emperor card? But the real MVT, the most valuable transit, is Saturn in Aries sextiling Pluto in Aquarius on March 28th. Saturn in Aries is saying to finish what you start. This is where your fire becomes focused, not scattered or all over the place. Pluto's energy is represented by the Judgment card. This is the energy of release, a reckoning, and a rebirth. It's rising up after a challenge or a period of oppression. It's a wake-up call from your soul, the kind where the truth hits you so deeply you can't unsee it. And you can't go back to who you were before either. It's the transformation that happens after an awakening. Now, a sextile is a supportive aspect. It's not forceful or overwhelming. It's an invitation, essentially an open door. But you have to choose to walk into it. And if you do, Saturn and Pluto together create intentional power, grounded transformation, and long-term foundations. Intentional power is choosing your actions with awareness rather than on impulse, as Aries is known to be. Impulsive, that is. This is strategic decision making and directing your energy towards what moves your life forward. Grounded transformation is changing from the root, your roots, allowing your growth to stabilize rather than rushing or cutting growth corners. And long-term foundations is developing something meant to last. This can look like committing to consistent effort or setting boundaries. It can also be creating structures in your life that support your evolution over time to grow as you grow. And this is a big deal. This isn't just surface level change. This is an opportunity to break generational cycles, to free yourself from patterns that may have lived in your bloodline for generations. Old karmic residue habits, old bondages, old ways of being, things you've inherited or carried or even lived in. These are examples of things that are ending, things that you're being called out of. Saturn is giving you the discipline to choose differently, and Pluto is giving you the strength to transform at the root. So this isn't just change, this is liberation on a deep soul level. I said in a previous video that what's happening right now with the final degrees of the Pisces new moon was soul-shaking shifts. And we're in that energy now. Those shifts are happening now in real time. So this is also giving the Count of Monte Cristo energy. I don't know if any of you have seen the Count of Monte Cristo or read the book. The main character, Edmond Dantes, he was French, and he was framed and imprisoned. Of course, wrongfully, he was innocent. But his growth happened in the dark. It happened in the waiting, in the isolation, and the pressure, where no one could see it happening. But everything inside of him was transforming into the Count of Monte Cristo. He went into prison Edmond Dantes, but he came out the Count of Monte Cristo. And there's an interesting analogy with this story that I kind of resonated with or thought it would be a good example to share. And it's that Edmond Dantes was innocent. He didn't know much about the ways of the world yet. He was gullible. And when he came out, after being taught everything that he knew, as he matured in prison, he came out a wise man, a man that wouldn't be so easily tricked or fooled. Like the difference between Edmond Dantes and the Count of Monte Cristo is night and day. It's been a long time since I've read the book, but I know that what I carried within me was like inside, he was always still that good-hearted person. That never changed about him. He didn't lose his innocence just because he became this other form of a man. And so that's what I mean by this core transformation. An important thing to remember when going through these transformations, that like actually the most precious parts of us are not going anywhere. Those stay with us. It's the things that we're not meant to carry that leave, that we somehow form attachments to for reasons we maybe don't understand, but we've been doing it for years or generations. It's that kind of energy that sometimes needs to fall away so we can continue to grow. Saturn in Aries is the discipline forged in confinement or through restriction that's now ready to make its move. It's ready to break out. Pluto in Aquarius is the awakening, the judgment call, the moment the cell doors open and you realize that you're not the same person who was put in that prison. And now you don't just walk out, you rise out with awareness, with your power back. And those chains, they don't just fall off. You outgrow them. You're becoming someone that can no longer be held by chains. And this is where it becomes real, because freedom requires responsibility. Saturn in Aries is saying to move differently and to choose differently, to build something new with who you've become. And this isn't just release, it's a rebirth after revelation. So this is you answering a call, stepping into a life that is no longer defined by what once confined you. Wow, like woo! Like, isn't that exciting? I get so excited when I think about this. Now I get to introduce you to a new player, and that's Juno. Juno is also known as Hera in Greek mythology. She's the wife of Zeus, also known as Jupiter. Juno is the goddess of commitment, marriage, and sacred partnerships, but not the fairy tale kind of love. This is not a happily ever after sort of energy. Juno represents the reality of partnerships, the blood, sweat, and tears of commitments. This includes themes of devotion and betrayal, growth, and boundaries. Juno represents what happens in our relationships over time. Astrologically, Juno shows us what you can commit to, what you require in your commitments, and what you will tolerate. What you commit to is where your energy goes long term. This is what you choose to build, nurture, and stay devoted to. Ask yourself, in your partnerships, are they aligned with who you're becoming or who you've been? What you require, this is your standard. What must be present for you to feel safe, supported, and valued? Ask yourself, have I clearly defined what I need, or have I been expecting others to guess? What you will tolerate, this is your boundary in action. What you allow to continue in your life. Ask yourself, what am I still accepting that I know deep down inside I've outgrown? These themes apply in your very personal bonded relationships, partnerships, business partnerships, even your community and your audience. It's anything you're bound to in a relationship or that you choose to bind yourself to. When Juno enters Aquarius on March 29th, our commitment style changes too. And that makes sense because if we're changing on such a deep level, it would stand to reason that how we show up in our partnerships would also change. Aquarius energy doesn't follow rules though, it follows vision. To represent this energy is the star card. This is an Aquarius card, and the star isn't loud. It doesn't chase, it doesn't force, it simply shines. It's healing energy, and the trust that comes when we believe that what's meant for us will find us. Juno in Aquarius is saying we're not doing relationships the old way anymore. This is about alignment and choosing people who match the future you're building. And if we want to take this a bit deeper, which of course I do, this is really the find your tribe energy. With Juno transiting Aquarius right now, your people are finding you now. So be ready. So now I'm going to bring it all together so we can see the full picture again. Aries is you stepping forward. Saturn is your discipline. Pluto is your transformation, and Juno is your people. This is a time where you become courageously committed to your purpose, where transformation moves from the inside out into something solid, something you can build your life on, and where the right people meet you as you rise up. You're being asked to choose intentionally, to build with purpose, and to come into alignment. And let's be honest, this might start to sound like a broken record, because this is Cosmic Energy 101. Wherever Saturn is, you work. Wherever Aries is, you leap. Wherever Pluto is, you transform. And wherever Juno is, you commit. But you don't have to rush. Aries may feel fast, but Saturn is there saying, take your time, give yourself space to choose what's right, and hear your soul clearly. And round we go. Cycle after cycle, season after season, the cosmic dance continues. But it's more than just a dance. It's an invitation. And dare I say birthright. It's a birthright to step into the grand symphony of creation with your own unique expression every single day in a million different ways. The beauty never stops. It just evolves. It's really quite beautiful. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share with someone building something new right now. I'll be back next week with the full moon in Libra, and next month I'll be back with another Tarot in Transit episode. So until next time, stay committed, stay connected, and remember, the universe has your back. Okay, y'all, I'm so sorry I got this video out late. I couldn't figure out what was going on with my audio. I finally figured it out. And I think I also learned something in the process. I told myself, I'm not going through all this if I'm not learning something. I better be a little bit more of a tech genius by the end of this. This has been fun, though. I was really excited to start this series. I'm trying to keep the tarot cards minimal, so it's not too much all at once. So I did choose 3 cards. I'll be kind of following that same pattern each time. These cards are connected to the energy in which I discuss. So I'm not making it up. It's those are their energetic expressions and how they kind of overlap with astrology. Whenever I do my readings, oftentimes I will incorporate the astrology within it. And I did learn this from a book, but now that I'm doing more readings, I'm not studying as much as I used to. I know I need to be in the energy. I need to kind of continue to be immersed in it, especially when you're teaching it. I'm kind of already immersed in it just on the inside, and I love it and I never get tired of it. But like to be able to share it with others in a professional and meaningful way, I know I need to continue to immerse myself in it. So I thought, what a great idea. I could do like a Tarot in Transit series when I'm not doing a new moon or a full moon episode, and then we can talk about that together. And I know there's a lot of interest in tarot and astrology and how they correlate. So I hope you liked this video. I will say that the Saturn in Aries energy has felt really, what's the word? There's a word that I use. Kinetic. It's felt very kinetic. That's how I would describe it. There's so much energy that I have now. And I just kind of came out of just being down for most of Pisces season. I did end up getting sick towards the end of it, but I came out of that. But still, it was so hard to do anything. I felt like I was going against a current all through Pisces season, and I was emotionally overwhelmed a lot. With Mercury retrograde in Pisces, I was so confused. I was like missing days and forgetting things that I don't normally forget. So it was a kind of a humbling experience for me as well. So then to come into Aries season with all of this energy, I was just anxious. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so anxious all the time. Like I don't even know why I'm so anxious. And I know about the energy and what's coming, but still like going through the process and acclimating to it, it's never, even if I know, it never makes me feel like I'm not still going through it. I'm still struggling with it like everybody else. And I think it's important to say that. Understanding astrology and how cycles work does give me peace. I have a peace inside, but more than that, I understand myself better and how I can be part of something bigger, whether that's my family, my community, now whoever is listening to this. That's kind of what it helps me do. It helps me come out of myself in a way that was meant for me, with my soul blueprint. And so then I can come out and share more and more of myself with the world like I was meant to. I think as we were all meant to. And so that's the most important thing, to show up with that unique energetic expression, to be the person God created me to be, to show up in my highest potential, because that's the greatest form of love. If I show up in my highest form, in my highest expression, that energy allows other people to do the same. It grows. It keeps multiplying like the 3-6-9 golden ratio thing shows. It's just a pattern that continues. So when Saturn hit Aries, I was just like all over the place, and I had so many things to do, and I knew what I needed to do. I just didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to do all that. I just wanted to do what was fun. I just wanted to bask in the sun of Aries and just kick back. But all this Aries energy is like, nope, we got to get going. Got to move on. Got to get going. And it's all the things I want to get going on. But it just is like, oh, this is going to be so much work. And do I want to do it? Yes. But no, I don't feel like... I feel like all my body is still slow and sluggish from Pisces season, that it's taken me a little bit. It's like getting back in shape. That's what Saturn and Aries has felt like for me. knowing you need to go to the gym, and you go back to the gym after having not gone for a while, and you feel like everything hurts and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. But it's, that's really what's going to get you there. I was having some health issues, and now like all the things that I've done to curb that or to address that are finally all kicking in. And so I'm no longer experiencing the same kind of fatigue that I was experiencing before. And it almost feels like I have to like relearn how to be a functioning person again, because I want to do all of these things because I have all this energy, but I can't do everything I want to do at once. And I have to pace myself. I have this unrealistic expectation that I should be getting like certain things done because, oh, I have all this energy now, but I can't actually get them done because I need to kind of work up to functioning at that level again. That's kind of like another Saturn and Aries explanation. But I'm ready to go. So that's kind of my Saturn and Aries analogy. Juno in Aquarius is so interesting to me because that is my 7th house of relationships. I have Aquarius in my 7th house of relationships. So I have noticed that my relationships have been different and changing and growing more in alignment with where I am now. I have also noticed that the relationships that aren't in alignment with where I am now do just kind of naturally tend to fall away. And there was a sadness associated with that. Pluto is there right now. Being devoted to someone in a marriage is hard. Everybody knows marriages are hard. When I was younger, I'd had no concept. I was always kind of fly by the seat of your pants kind of girl. Thank goodness I grew out of that. I'm much more calm, I think, than I used to be. But with that comes kind of that resignation with whenever you commit in a relationship, even if it's hard, you still have to show up and face yourself within it. And a lot of what Aquarius is like that mirror. You see yourself through others. And I've had that definitely in my marriage, and I've grown a lot from it. So after you get past the uncomfortable part of like seeing yourself, after you get past that, it's become a lot easier to feel safe and like I have a partner because I'm actually being one, if that makes sense. I know this is scary for a lot of people too. Like some people, it's not for them. Some people commit to other things. Like some people commit to a church and become priests, or some people commit to an aging parent and take care of them. There's all different sorts of commitments. But because it's my 7th house, mine is in my partnerships with other people. And that has been going through a lot of change. I'm excited to have Juno there. I think Juno would do well in my 7th house of Aquarius. So I'm excited to see what my relationships look like or how they've grown once the Juno transit is done. The other thing I will say is we are going to be going into a full moon in Libra, and that is also a relationship sign. So there is going to be, I think, a lot of themes in our lives come up that have to do with relationships, partnerships, how we commit. And so just remember, there are ways that we're growing, there are ways that we're changing, and we just have to ask ourselves, because Saturn is there, the decisions we're making, are they going to support our long-term growth? I hope everybody got through eclipse season, no worse for wear, that you're excited about your future now that Aries season has kicked off with all this fire energy. So there's so many opportunities for you out there. I hope that I can help you at least learn how to recognize, how to get in touch with those, and that you go out there and that you raise your vibration and become the person that you were created to be, because that's what we're here for, right?